Hey everybody, this is India with Bags and Lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching this video. Over here, we talk about fashion all the way down to lifestyle topics. So hence the name, Bags and Lifestyle. So let's go ahead and get started with today's topic, which is how in the world did I travel for free to San Antonio for work? That's the reason why my company billed my client for my time. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through some travel tips out there. I know there are some people in our lovely handbag community that also travel for work. So throw those tips down below if I miss out some. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, first off, I know my professionals, my seasoned folks on this are already going to know this, but I'm sure I have some people that are newer to the game. And so, that is going to be making sure that you take advantage of signing up for rewards, frequent flyer points, all of those for your hotels, your flights, car rentals, all of the things. Even if you frequently go to a location and you have a favorite restaurant that you're always going to go to, sign up for the rewards there because that is another way to bank those points for your personal use while your company pays for the business travel. Now, to add on to that, I know some people who travel for work, companies require them to have their own means to pay for the trip and then they get reimbursed. If you fall under that category, I highly suggest having a separate card for that, cards that specifically target people who travel frequently, because that way you'll bank up your points quicker with the things that you're going to do when you normally travel. And the reason why I say have a separate card is because I know some people have like a personal card that they may use on a day to day to do their personal expenses and then paying the full bill at the end of the month to kind of stack those points with their credit card company. I am from the school of thought that anything business related, you want that separate. So your company don't need to be all your business. They don't need to know that you like to go to happy hour or go to the spa. That is a nice expensive spa once a month. So even though it's on your name, you may have to send a screenshot at some point. So I would say for those reasons, just you don't need to share extra information when you don't have to. So have a separate card for your business travel and then a personal card for that. Also, it's just easier to separate it so that way you always know which cards you're using for travel versus a card that you use for your personal expenses and things like that as well. Especially if you are frequently traveling, you're always going to have a balance on that credit card and you don't want it holding your credit limit for your kind of day-to-day expenses hostage. So for all those reasons, I'm making a case for a separate card. If your company does not provide you with a company credit card. In addition to that tip, now I know some of y'all probably have done this, so that's why I'm mentioning it. I have some coworkers that do this, and that is using your work email when you sign up for these rewards points. If at any point you have you separate from your company and it's not your own planning of separating from your company, then you could get locked out of your account. Would it be forever? Probably not. You probably just have to jump through a few hoops, but it just makes it smoother if that is the case. Heaven forbid that happens, that you are able to still access it through your personal account without having to switch over from your work email to your personal email. So, all of that to say, keep things separate. That's just like how I like to go. Okay, moving on from that is to maximize your time for your trip. So, obviously, we're talking about traveling for free off of someone else's dime. And so, the way to do that is to either come in earlier or leave later or both. When I recently went to San Antonio for work, we I took an early flight and I knew that was going to be like I hate taking an early flight because that means I don't get sleep the night before because I'm nervous about oversleeping. Totally get it. But my thought process was I need to maximize my time without me using my own money. So the way to do that is fly in early. I can easily go back to the hotel, take a quick nap, and then run and frolic and doodle dad before I have to start working the next day. I know some of my coworkers, especially when we have events where we have to work long shifts and we're starting super early in the morning, because they don't want to fly in early. They'll fly in at like 4 o'clock. But if you want to maximize your time, you have time to rest, like I said, and do all of those things. Also, flying out later is helpful too. So I did both. I flew in early when I went to San Antonio, doodle dadded, went to the outlet and all of those things on the first day. And then I flew out late. Actually, I think I took the second to the last flight out. And that way I was able to check out the hotel, go eat lunch, go do the experiences that I wanted to do that I was able to see in San Antonio without having to pay extra or pay the difference to stay an extra day. You totally can do that and that will reduce the spend, but we're talking about for free. So, yeah. So, we'll keep it at that. Next up is going to be as far as maximizing your per diem. So, I'm a person where when I'm out of town, I like to eat nice things while it's on somebody else's dime. So, what I have recently tried to do is take advantage of happy hour as well as the lunch menu. A lot of restaurants will serve the same items just in a smaller portion for lunch. So instead of having the lobster for dinner, have the lobster for lunch. You still eat the lobster. You're saving calories because you're eating less of it because it's a smaller portion. And then guess what? It's less expensive. So you're maximizing the allotted money that you get for the day for your per diem. And like I said, also another thing to do is, especially if you are traveling to a place, the same place frequently, or you always go to the same restaurants no matter where you go ahead and sign up for the rewards points there too. Because if you know you are always going to go to Chipotle while you're out of town and somebody else is paying for it, when you get back home, you get to use those Chipotle points for yourself because those reward points go to you. So that is another way as well. What you also can do is plan ahead for free activities. I, like I said, when I did the San Antonio trip, the funny thing is I was asked to do the trip. I needed somebody at the last minute. So I had a week notice. And when my person that reached out to me to ask me if I would be able to go, first thing I did was see if they had a premium outlet. And I was like, okay, yes, sure, I'll go. And I've never been to San Antonio, but but anyway, also along that week that I had to get ready for the trip was to start looking around, seeing what activities they have for free so I could maximize my free trip. I looked up a lot of cities will have museums that you can go to for free. You can see different like street art. I love walking just like day to day. And so I love doing that in a city because you get to see so much. You're moving your body. So there's so many benefits to just going outside and walking. And so I found like open shopping areas because a lot of times you'll see a lot of green space, you'll get to see restaurants, and then you can get to window shop too and move your body around and things like that. And you also can find like cool little places that you may have not gotten to see if you didn't walk. For all those reasons, I try to find free things to do. In addition to, I did do a couple of paid activities like I did a gondola ride. It was not a gondola ride, it was a boat ride. It was a river walk boat tour that I did, which I did have to pay for that. But at the same time, I did go to a Japanese tea garden that was free. So that way it kind of minimizes, sorry, it will help minimize your out of pocket spend if you do that. Also, pay attention to your company travel policy. I know for my company that I work for, they also have a policy where if you're out of town for a certain amount of time, you actually get to take a certain amount of money to spend on an activity while you're there over the weekend or for like however long it is, like you get to take that money. So instead of me spending money on like a baseball game that I wanted to go to, then my company can pay for it. So make sure you're paying attention to things like that because some companies do have little perks like that for people who are going to be out of town for an extended period of time. And then it's free to you and you still get to enjoy it. So that is also a thing to do there. Like I said, make sure you like this video, please, please, please. And if you are enjoying this, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to. I would love to have you on this part of the world. And then also make sure my travel people out there that I know are in the bag community or your subscriber period, whatever. If you're new, if you have a tip, throw it in the comments down below. I would love to see if you have some other tips so that way we can learn because I know there are people out there that are newer to travel jobs And they need this information too. That way they can learn, do the lessons learned that we have, the travel pros have done or experienced, I guess, as I should say. So thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you again soon. Bye.